What's going on, my beat builders? It's a great day to be alive. Now, how is it going with your beats? Are you building them up? Are you submitting your stuff to music libraries? Are you getting better in your production? Well, I hope you are. This is one of my favorite video series, and it's always behind the sync and my sync updates of my new placements, if I have any, and my money that I made. Now, these video series are made to help show you a realistic picture of what you can earn during sync licensing, especially if you're new to it and you be hearing the buzz about that you can make a lot of money in it. Well, you can, but you also can make a little money as well. But a little money is not always bad. So I hope this inspires you and gives you a more realistic goal when you're going along in your sync journey. Let's get it started. I first want to start off when I turned into my ASCAP to see 6 new placements. I just love seeing that. It's so exciting. I love how ASCAP changed their website. So it pops up and it just alerts you 6 new cues. So let's check these cues out. And if you are a member of ASCAP, they show you your new cues right up top, which I really like. So let's look at that. My first placement in this show, Mean Girl Murders. Got Battle of Beach Bodies was that cue in that. So that was my first cue in that. Now, if you look at Love and Hip Hop Miami, I'm in 29 episodes so far. So Love and Hip Hop Miami, it's coming through, man. It's coming through. And we look at that. We made 2 more new cues right here. The Trick or Treat, so I'm assuming that was a Halloween episode. And then Don't Read the Comments, whatever that was. And then last new one, Texas Metal, season 7 with 3 play. Oh, these are actually my first placements in this show, Texas Metal, Coffee Diesel Truck, rolling in my F350, and Ford Rush to Royalty. So that's pretty good to show that I got 2 placements in 2 new shows. That's always something good because as you look at, Texas Metal, it's on season 7. And sometimes if the people picking your music really like your music, they'll just use it in different seasons, and that's how it carries on, right? Just like Love and Hip Hop Miami, it's been on for a long time, so I've been able to get my music in at least 29 episodes, so something is working, right? So, and sometimes if you get new shows, you might not necessarily, it might not continue on to different seasons, so who knows if you get placements. But let's get to the real deal and get to my earnings. So if we look at the top right, my total earnings, almost $1,200. Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. Now, I know you might be thinking, why is he clapping for $1,200? Because it's $1,200. It's something I didn't have before, and it's that compounding interest on the music. I'm getting these cues, and I don't have to do much work besides the upfront work of making my music and getting them in music library. So $1,200, that's a lot of money. Pay a couple of bills, and it also helps me buy new equipment or invest in my business later on down the line. Let's look over to the left, my performance period. This is always key, especially for newer people to sync. So if you look at it, I'm getting this pay from things that were placed from January 1st to March 31st of 2024. So even though I've got paid in October of 2024, these are from cues from Q1 of this year. So I have many more payments to go as more quarters come up. So when you start in sync licensing, you don't get paid right away, especially with the route that many of you may be going, where you submit to a music publisher, they take about 50% of your publishing and you get paid on the back end. So even though you might you might be in a library, you might have music there, you might have a placement, you just don't know because like I said, let's say this was your first placement in October and you had your music during this period, January 1st through March 31st. That's a long time to wait to be like, dang, why I don't have a placement? because that's just how it works. Stuff just takes a long time to cycle through the process, the paperwork, to make sure people get paid the right things. That's just how it goes. If we look at so far, my 2024 domestic royalties, $7,000, which is not bad. And my 2024 international royalties is $700. So I think I've actually so far made more than I made last year, which is a good thing. Now let's look at, if we look right here on the right, my top works got Big Baller, Catfish TV shows. They've been putting in work for me, Dark Trips. And these tracks have been putting in work for a long time. Let me just click on the Big Baller. And most of the money comes from, it says internet right here. You can see it has a total number of plays of over 4,000 plays. So that's not bad. Let me go back to the home. And if we break down this little pie circle chart, so most of the Q's money came from cable TV blanket, which is usually expected because most of my Q's play on cable TV. Got a couple of 39% of internet. You got an ABC CBS network placement. Those, I love those placements, man, because the networks, they pay higher royalty fees. So less plays, you can make more money for less plays. They pay out more. And if we just expand the categories, let's see. Let me see what this Q is. So I made $14 from the ABC network stuff. Ooh, Size 'Em Up instrumental. So look at that. If we look at the Size 'Em Up, 2 plays netted $14. Hey, it's something. So imagine if it would have played more, or if it was a bigger, more prominent placement, would have got more. Okay, let's go back. And as we see the top series, if we go to view all, Catfish, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Murder, Project Runway. So it just gives you, if you look, a number of episodes and how much money. So if you look at Catfish, which is one of the top earners of this period, over $600 from 26 episodes. You got all this different things of what they pay out. So that's not bad. Let's go back. We look down here, we got the quarterly trends. Q1 2024, I made a lot in that quarter. This quarter right here, you can see the last quarter, not that much, but hey, it's still money in the bank. One thing I want to note, one last thing in this category, you got this internet category. This stuff covers stuff like Facebook, social media, YouTube, etc. So I have over $400 in that, and you can see again, Big Baller is the top earner right here with over 200. Then you got Sick Player, Top Dog, Don't Play Me. So these are the top earners for let's see if I go on the internet, if they give me a real breakdown. They don't give me an exact breakdown of where they played, but that's okay. I don't really need to know where they played. I just know when they gonna pay me. So that's all that matters. Now that's it for the breakdown. Pretty simple. So how did you think about that? Almost made $1,200 for that quarter. So you can't really beat that. I always say little steps goes a long way. So you might be new to your sync journey, or you might be a veteran in this sync licensing game. And hey, you may be still seeing this kind of same money. But I always say you need to reframe your mindset and your expectations about sync licensing. Of course, you're going to see the things I've made 5 figures, 6 figures, a major TV placement. Those are always the carrot. Those things keep us as producers coming back to be like, yeah, I want to get that magic #1 placement that syndicated all over TV that gets me that big money win. But most of us, we're going to be the stick. It's just that we're just going to be the stick. And hey, I think it's fine to be the stick, long as you're balancing it out with other things. Now, if you're trying to make music your sole income, It might be tough on your mind. May be weighing you down. You're trying to pay bills and stuff like that. But I always say, in my experience, a good approach is with sync licensing, especially at the beginning, using your daytime job, your full-time, part-time job to be an investor for your sync licensing career. So you might save up, let's say, even if it's something as small as $20 a paycheck, $50 a paycheck, so you can keep adding up and building your gear. That's how I first started 20 years ago when I first started making music. Not everyone in my neighborhood had computers. And that time, Napster was king. So I was one of the first people that had a computer and internet in my neighborhood. So I was hustling bootleg CDs. Yes, it was what it was. I don't do that anymore because there's really not a service for that. But I was hustling, coming to school, getting you the stuff, next day service, $5 CDs. So I kept saving up, and that's when I got my first beat machine, the DR5. Just saving up. That thing was, I think, $500, and that started off. So that 20-year lesson helps me now. So even though I don't see the big numbers, I learned to save my money and then invest at the right times in equipment that will help me either get better at production, ease my workflow, or make things look better. Because I do have other businesses. I have a dance fitness business that I do, and I'm also a DJ now with an entertainment company. So I'm using this, even though it's small money, to invest in my other businesses while my other job pays all the other bills. So I really suggest you do that when you're first starting out. Don't go all in and quit. Now, if you want to, that's all on you. Hey, it's your dreams. We only have one life to live. But what worked best for me and what I think will work best for you is the slow and steady method. Yes, you want to get stuff fast, because I remember when I wasn't in a library, when I wasn't getting any placements, I was just antsy all the time until I started to realize I'm living a good life. I have a good balance. I have my house. I have my wife. I'm doing my music. I'm doing DJ. I'm teaching fitness, making music for TV. So I found a good equilibrium for my life, even though I'm not making all this amount of money. And you will probably realize you don't need that much money to be happy. You just need to focus on what you want to be happy, set your goals, and live a realistic lifestyle. And that's why I make these videos, especially this series, so you can see behind the scenes, see all the receipts to show you this could be a realistic picture and that you might not make a lot of money, but it still feels good to get that new placement, to still get some money for your efforts, because you never know. I might have a song I made 5 years ago that may pop off again in 10 years. Who knows, right? When COVID happened, who could predict COVID? Not many people could predict COVID. And when COVID came, people were watching TV like crazy. My music placements went up. My earnings went up, right? Things just happen. So you never know what can happen. And that's why I do like sync licensing. And I treat it in the mindset of it's still a business, but kind of a hobby as well. I've taken a small back seat to making more music for sync because I have been focusing on my DJ career. So I probably could increase my earnings if I really focused on sync alone as the secondary hobby, but I'm not, because I like spreading things around. That's just me. I know you'll hear sometimes master one craft, but I like doing different things with my life, so that's what I'm choosing to do. So I hope this helps you get a realistic picture. And let me know in the comments, how are you doing with your sync licensing journey? I want to be here as a resource, as a guide to help you try to get in your first music library and get that elusive first placement. And that's my goal of this channel. So let me know how things are going. And if you want more sync licensing tips and tricks, check out one of these videos.